Hello, if you're a local business in SA and you want Vince and I to join you on site for one of our live recording sessions of our podcast Livin', please reach out to us at hello@livinpodcast.com.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for expanded reach, customer interactions, and some authentic storytelling opportunities for your brand and business.
Not to mention fun.
Of course, it's fun. So email us today at hello@livinpodcast.com or via Instagram @livin_podcast, and we'll see you on site really soon.
Am I living? Oh, what a funny thing to say. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day, on a cloudy day. Your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day, on a cloudy day. Your mama always said, look up into the sky.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of Livin' Podcast with Vince Fusco.
And Nancy Timpano. There you go.
That?
Another week, another episode of Livin' Podcast. And this week, I'm inspired by Saturday's swimming lesson with my son.
Well, like you just told me about this, and it's perfect because a couple of weeks ago we spoke about how far do parents go.
How far do parents go? Very different.
That was about how far do you go to set up the success or
Yes.
prove
Yes.
that your kid is right or that they're great.
Yes.
Now, this is a bit different.
This is different. I want to know,
Go.
who's the coach? Who's the teacher? Because at Saturday's swimming lesson with my son, I could see the swimming instructor in the pool.
I need you to actually get
with
up and
the
do
kids.
this. I need you
But
to actually get up and
there
just go
was
behind us here.
The dad on the sidelines, the whole lap going, you can do it, you can do it. Come on, faster, faster, faster. It wasn't bloody time trials. It was a swimming lesson.
Can I ask?
They were this big. Oh my
I have
God.
questions. Come
I have
sit.
questions.
Thank you
Sorry.
for getting up and doing that.
I'm revved.
It's not every day we get Nancy up to do a performance like that. You would almost think that we do. But, okay, so hang on. Number one, it's a swimming lesson.
It's a swimming lesson, and over the weeks, I'm watching in front of me. There's Jaden's lesson in front of me, and I'm watching, but I'm like this because I'm drawn. Because then there's a parent going up and down every lap, following his kid.
How old are the kids?
I reckon that the kid is probably 6 or 7.
Come on.
And it's a swimming lesson. We're not squads. We're not talking squads. We're
No.
not talking a race. It's just a little
Safety.
swimming lesson.
It's
It's
safety.
just a little, what do they call them? Puffer fish. It's a...
A bubbler. He's a
No.
little happy kicker.
No, yeah. It's a hammerhead. It's a puffer fish, whatever you want to call
Whatever
them,
the
your
group is.
swimming lesson. And it got me thinking Saturday because I completely missed my son's lesson because I was watching the performance over there.
It's
I
too
I
much.
got a free ticket, front row, free ticket.
Love that.
And it just got me thinking, if you're a parent, are you the parent that's emailing the teacher telling them how to teach?
How to do the job.
How to do the job?
Who's the teacher? Who's the coach?
Who's the coach? Huge is actually Jaden's soccer coach. And I do love the rule. Huge is a bit strict. You know, Huge, he's got his rules. And I don't know if this is a club rule or a huge rule.
Okay.
But I do kind of like it in some way. Well, he loves it. He's got the rule that when he coaches a game, not a training, when he coaches a game, if he's on this side of the pitch, parents are on the other side of the pitch.
Yeah.
Nowhere near
Yeah.
the coaches.
100%.
Right? Which works well and makes perfect sense. Let him do his job without hearing the parents on the sidelines
But
going,
look,
make a change, coach.
I want to intervene only because it's huge.
Oh, here we go.
Only because if I had the former captain of AUFC and I had former Socceroo goalkeeper as my son's coach,
Yeah.
I would shut my mouth. If I had Frank, Tim's dad, right, who has no soccer experience,
Yeah.
but on the weekends he happens to coach his son's soccer team,
Yeah.
and I happen to play soccer, maybe then I would say, hey mate, just any... Would I? I don't know.
But still,
I say that
I
for
don't
the
think
example.
you should because
But Eugene, I would 100% be like, he's got all of the qualifications, the
Yeah.
credibility and the track record to show he knows what he's doing. Whereas I've been to those soccer games, not
Yeah.
just with my kids, but when
Yeah.
we were kids.
Yeah.
We had those other parents who would scream at the coach,
Yeah.
Coach, what are you doing? You bloody
Yeah.
idiot, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, number one, it's kids soccer,
Yeah.
right?
My kid shouldn't be taken off. It's like, oh my God. But luckily, we've got actually a beautiful team, and I'm not just saying that. Love our parents. We don't have the issue. But we had a carnival a couple of weeks ago, and we were actually sitting behind the opposing team's coaching bench, and it was a lot. It was a lot of yelling, like the coach was yelling, the assistant coach was yelling, then some parents were yelling, and I was like, wow.
Wow.
This is why Huge likes to be separate.
I think it's a great rule.
And no, I think it's our club rule though, which it makes sense. But, you know, even a teacher, like I am not the parent that will email the teacher saying, I feel like you should be doing it this way.
Again, you
Is
can't
there parents
do that.
out there?
There are parents that do it.
Is there parents out there?
But like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
It's like when people come to me, so I was used Saturday night, because that's the most accessible I am at any point when I'm working as an MC, because you're amongst it, right?
Yeah.
And people come in and they go, oh, here's the MC, you know, you should do this, you should do that. And it's like, do I go into Woolworths, right, and tell the checkout person how to operate that till?
That's right.
Do I go to any workplace and tell them how to do their job?
Yeah.
DJs cop it the most.
Oh, yeah.
When it's like, you should play this song, you should play it. It's like, mate, can you just let me work?
Yeah.
Just get out of my face.
But what you were saying earlier, I don't necessarily agree with that either. For example,
What was
if
I
Huge
saying?
wasn't the
Oh,
coach,
okay, yeah,
if Huge wasn't the coach, he's not that type anyway, but if he wasn't the coach and a parent was coaching, I don't think he's got a right to put in his 2 cents worth,
I agree.
because these parents are volunteering their time.
You're getting a package delivered.
Ooh, delivery. Very exciting.
Well, they're ding-donging and they're just sort of loitering there at the second.
Oh, maybe should I stop? Should I run? Should I go have a look?
Go have a look.
Okay.
Go have a look. I'll leave it running just for the sake of continuity.
Okay.
We interrupt this program for a brief delivery of packages here at the Timpano Galekovic household. It's a big one too.
Delivery.
Oh, wow. Don't you love deliveries? Like Christmas
Can't remember
every
what
day.
I ordered.
That's even better when you don't remember what you ordered and then you get it weeks, months later in like surprise boxes. Amazon too, all right.
It's got Huge's name on it.
Devastating. Speak of the devil.
Devastating.
Devastating.
It's not Temu. You can all relax.
So you think that he doesn't have the right, because of who he is necessarily, to then offer that input?
No,
to the and I agree with. I do
yes.
agree with that. But I'm just saying, in the case that he is the coach,
Yes.
you would not be questioning
No,
that.
and we don't have that issue at all. But whatever. But what I'm saying is, sometimes when Jaden used to play school soccer, that's we've had notices come out saying, look, this team will not go ahead unless a parent steps up to volunteer their time to coach. There is no coach. If there's no coach, there's no team. So a parent might not feel very confident in the role, yet they're just making it happen so the kids get to play.
My cousin is that guy.
Yes.
My cousin is that guy. And it made me laugh like 2 years ago when he was first like, hey, I'm coaching a soccer team. And I was like, but you've never played soccer.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I have a little bit. I played football more, but
Yeah.
he was like, it's for my son's team. And if
Yeah.
I don't do it, there's no one.
Correct. So I
But he
don't
loves it.
think, even if there's someone more qualified on the sidelines, I think you should zip it.
It's so funny. Who is the
Zip
teacher? Who's the coach?
it.
The swimming example gets me so
on!
good. No, that's
Come
ridiculous. I have like I'm challenged by when do I intervene
Mm-hmm.
with my boys if they're mucking around in a class, right? I want, and I think it's because of my upbringing
Yeah.
and the coaches I had. I always had amazing tutors, coaches,
Yep.
and teachers for performance, soccer,
Yep.
dance, singing. If I did something, and I feel like, look, tell me if I'm wrong, guys, tell me if I'm wrong. Have teachers gotten a little bit more soft, or is that just because of society where we're like, we can't say that anymore, you can't do this
the
anymore?
poor things. There's too many bloody rules and
that's what I'm saying,
regulations for them.
But if I want a teacher, and this is how I view it, I want my kid's teacher to tell them when they're doing something wrong.
Yep.
Don't be shy about it.
Yep.
If they step out of line and there needs to be a consequence,
Yep.
if that means they miss out on something else, if it means they cannot sit there or they
Yep.
do it.
Yep.
If they are disrupting the team,
Yep.
make them run laps.
Yep.
Don't be shy about that.
Yeah.
I will say that we did Auskick last year. I won't say which clubs we did it at, but we're doing it at a different club this year. So last year's club, we had an absolute, a bit like Eugene, an absolute icon
Right.
of the Sandful
Yep.
and AFL. Actually, he was only Sandford because he never wanted to go to AFL.
Okay.
He could have with his eyes closed, and they tried many times to draft him, but he just wanted to stay true to his roots.
Okay.
A weapon. I messaged a friend of mine who does play in the AFL, and I said, have you heard of this guy? Because I'm not sports, you know what I mean?
Well,
someone's kicking a ball.
Well, that's a fun
Sports. I don't follow it as much as you think, right? So I messaged my mate who formerly played in the AFL, and I said, have you heard of this guy? And he goes, are you joking? Are you joking? He's got his own bar at Adelaide Oval.
Wow.
He's actually like an icon. He's like, how do you know him? I said, he's coaching my son's Auskick team. He was like, bloody, you could not get better than that. Bloody great teacher.
Yeah.
If I've got someone teaching my kid, I want him.
Yeah.
So I thought, gee, this is great. And you know what? Watching him conduct those sessions with assistants, phenomenal. The way he communicated with the kids. There was that sense of authority, commands attention. The kids got a lot from it. The techniques that he would show, like simple things, fundamentals for football.
Yeah.
This year we've gone to a different club, just for saying different. It's being run by 2 people. There is no sense of like command of attention. They have it by default because they're the teachers or the coaches. They're not really doing a lot of fundamentals. They jump into games. Not even like football games. I'm talking just skill games.
Yeah,
you know,
ball games.
Ball
anything.
games.
Yep,
Ball games.
Yep.
We're playing Angry Ogre more than we're doing handballs, for example. But then the boys are and they're having fun, which I love. But then the other part of me is like, I want you to take something from this.
Well, you could go to a park and have fun.
100%.
For free.
100%, Nance. And it's that idea of like, I will be on the sidelines, and when my boys are running amok or doing something that they shouldn't be doing.
Are you doing this?
I'm always like this. I look at it like this. But then I'm like, when do I step in and have to say, hey, come on? And I've done it a couple of times with my boys. Like, hey, the coach is talking.
Yeah.
You need to stop. You're actually disrupting everyone. I want the coach to do that.
Yes.
They need to do that. Because sometimes it's not just the parent's voice. The kids need to hear it from that external factor.
I do feel sorry. Who knows? Maybe they've had a bad experience of telling a kid off or, reprimanding someone and the parent's gone. You just don't know in today's
But that's what I'm saying. It's today.
I know.
Today, things have changed. We're not allowed to say things anymore. We're not allowed to, tell kids that they're doing the wrong... But you absolutely should be. It's a fundamental part of building resilience and the real world.
Yeah.
Because you know what? If it's not me doing it, pardon me, or if they're not doing it in the right way, someone else might do it to those kids in a far worse way when they're older.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just think that
that'll be a big shock.
And that will be the big shock.
Yeah.
So I want that authority. I have done it at swimming where the teacher has said it a couple of times, but then there's no consequence. So I've gone around just to the teacher and been like, hey, happy for you to kick them out of the pool.
Yeah.
Get them out.
Yes.
And if that doesn't, don't waste your breath.
Yes.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I don't want to then come across as that parent who's telling them how to do it.
Yeah.
Who's the teacher? Who's the coach? It's like having a handyman come over.
And telling him.
And I'll just stand over his shoulder to learn, but it looks like I'm actually watching, making sure he's doing the right job. I don't know.
Exactly right. So now I think people in their profession, let them go. Hands down, I say it all the time, I commend teachers out there.
100%.
And I could never do it better than them. And I will never step in or intervene. Whatever they say is gospel in my book.
I get, I do have some scenarios.
Ooh.
Okay, let's talk about this then. Where the teachers have said, this happened today. Oh, okay. Can I have some more information? No, I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I've only just heard about it. But there's going to be an outcome tomorrow.
Oh.
And I'll be like, but you don't know what you're dealing with. Shouldn't there be more investigation? Otherwise, and I've said to teachers, both of my son's teachers and educators, I have said, we're happy for consequence.
Yep.
We actually welcome it,
Yep.
especially if they've done something wrong.
Yep.
Please don't go easy. That's going to sound harsh, isn't it? It's not to be hard on them.
Yeah.
But the punishment should match the crime.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I spoke about this on one of the episodes, but last year we got this, I picked up Leo from school one day and he had a relief teacher for a period across maybe a term. And I said, how'd you go today? And she was like, oh, good. And it sort of changed in that breath. And I was like, oh.
Don't ask. That's what I'm like, no news is good news.
Oh, yeah. I guess 100% no news is good news, right? But I was like, oh, what do you mean? And she goes, we had a bit of an incident today. Apparently, I was just told about it at the end of lunch. Oh, Leah, I don't know if I should say this, but you know what? You're going to play it at your 18th anyway, this story. But they were like, he's tied up a kid and dragged him along the ground while this kid is screaming no. And apparently he didn't stop.
I don't know what you're doing at home, but...
Okay, well, hang on. Let's just
First
verify.
let's just say no.
Take a breath. Right?
Close the door.
Here we go. Yeah. You're just, and people think it's me. People think I'm the one on this show who has a filthy mind. But you and innuendo, hand in hand, mate.
Oh, okay.
Or should I say, cheek to cheek? But no, so.
Oh, yes.
I
Face to
said,
face.
number one, like that sounds horrific, doesn't it? Tied
Yes,
up, I'm picturing like a Wild West movie, like a lasso, dragging along the dirt, and but that's what I'm picturing. So I'm like, okay, so what happens? And she's like, well, again, I don't know. I only just heard about it, but he's going to miss lunch tomorrow. And I was like, well, that's interesting because you don't know anything about it. So what's if he doesn't know what he's missing out for, if the action is so far away from the consequence as well, it's hard for kids to put that together. So I was like, look, I'm walking home with him. I'll have a chat with him and I'll see what I can find out. Anyway, so I'm asking him the questions. What happened today? How was your day? Da-da-da. Hey, who'd you play with at lunch? Oh, we were playing with this. We're playing with skipping ropes. Oh, okay. And how was that? It was really good. Me and X were playing skip ropes. And then this other boy came over and he started teasing us. And he started saying this, this, this. And I thought, I said to him, well, what did you do after that? He goes, I put the skipping rope over like that because he said, bet you can't catch me. You can't catch me, boys. I don't know, some silly schoolyard thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Leonardo then says, I did this and wrapped it around him.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then what happened? He goes, and then I pulled him and he fell. And then I was like, and then what happened?
Sounds very different.
No, but hang on, but this is the point I'm trying to make.
Yes.
And then he goes, I said, what happened next? He goes, he got up and left. I said, he got up and left. I said, and then what happened? That's my favourite thing. And then what? And then what? And he goes, we just went back to playing skipping ropes. I said, okay. Sounds very innocent. The point I'm trying to make is two things can be true. Because contextually, they're both true.
Yeah.
But it's the perspective.
Yeah.
So for a child, being tied up could be as simple as having the skipping rope wrapped around him, tied up.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
dragged to the ground or dragged along the ground. So one pull, he falls to the ground. Versus dragging behind a horse and cart for 2Ks.
With his ankles
With
tied.
his ankles bound, right? Two truths.
Yes.
Did he say stop? Because apparently, like I said, the report I got was that his kid was repeatedly saying stop and he didn't stop, which is unlike him. He knows stop and no means no, right?
Yeah.
So, did he say stop? He goes, no. He literally got up and went away, Dad. That was it. So then 20 minutes pass. At the end of lunch, this kid then says at the end of lunch, he tied me up, dragged me along the ground, and that's why I'm upset. So you can see how it's been blown out of proportion. But then obviously, I guess going back to teachers, is that I have had those situations where I, as the parent, am like, you need to investigate more. You need to have more evidence. And I'm not saying my kid's doing angel every day, because I know for a fact he's my son. But you can't also then be handing out punishments if you don't have the proof or and this is just tip of the iceberg. Do you know what I mean? Of some of those little things that I see and I hear in schools.
Yeah.
Not just my son's school, but other schools that I work with. So it's hard, I think, for parents to delineate at when do you step in and say, hey, I don't agree with the way we're going about things versus I would teach like this or coach like that.
Yeah. It's a little bit off topic, but when obviously go and watch the A-League games quite often, the people yelling from the sidelines.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? All
yelling
of a sudden,
at the coach.
Yeah.
It's like, you come and do the job.
Exactly right. And everyone's a professional sports person
Especially
when
me.
they're in the GA.
Yeah.
When they're in the GA, that gives them all the macho talk that they've got out there. So sometimes I think we've just got to, and going back to that, when a team's winning and they're your heroes, and then they have one loss.
And then they're dead to you.
They're dead! Get rid of them! They're crap! It's like, do they not realise there are humans connected to these things?
No, but that's the same as celebrity, isn't it? That people think they have access and a right to comment or to berate someone on their
Yeah.
performance. But you're so right. They're human beings. They're not
Yes.
just a profile. They're not just a computer game character that you
Yes.
choose
Absolute.
on FIFA.
Yeah.
I want Eugene in the box.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's
Yeah.
a human on the pitch.
Yeah.
So, that's a good point. And you're so right. I've been guilty of it this weekend, Nance.
Ooh.
So one of the sports that I do follow is F1.
Yes.
And we're 2 races into the season. By the time this comes out, we'll be a couple more. But Liam Lawson, who's currently driving for Red Bull, is this just Greek to you?
Oh, I understood Red Bull.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, good. But like he's not
seen the
performing
cars.
right, and
Yeah.
I don't like his personality. I think he's arrogant. A lot of drivers are arrogant, but there's a difference between like owning your worth and your skill set versus just being arrogant and cocky,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? Anyway, so I have been guilty of it this week, being like, get rid of him. He's a waste of space. I've been sending reels and memes to my friends of
Yeah.
videos of him working in McDonald's and being like, this is going to be him after this weekend's race. He won't make the season. And apparently today a report did come out saying they're sending him back to Racing Bulls, which is the like second tier division. Bye.
Wow. It's like at the Olympics when there's, gold, silver, bronze. So that person that's come fourth is the 4th fastest in the world.
Yeah, but people
all
are
of a
like-
sudden they're shit.
Yeah.
They got nothing.
100%.
But they're the 4th fastest
I love
in
it.
the world.
I love the Olympics for that reason. 'Cause you
Yeah.
have every average Joe at home
Yeah.
watching Simone Biles perform a triple pike flip that's
Yeah.
only ever been done once in history.
Yes.
And we watch it and we go,
Yeah.
nah, she fucked up.
Yeah.
She fucked up. Like we could jump out and like we could do
Yes.
that. Like you don't actually understand the strength, the mental strength, the
Yes.
training, the precision
Yeah.
that goes into that.
Yeah.
Or anybody's craft, whatever your craft might be. People put, it's like when you look at artwork and you go, that's shit artwork. It might have taken that artist 4 years.
Yeah.
And their whole life's work is in that.
Yeah.
But
And look, I'm not jumping on the trolling bandwagon at all, but I reckon there was one Olympic sport that I probably could have done better at.
synchronized swimming? No. The fuck is that?
The hip hopper.
Okay. No, listen. I'm actually still confused that hip hop has become.
Okay.
How has breakdancing become an Olympic sport when in 2000, now I'm getting upset.
No. Oh.
Okay, you know when you upset me, I get upset.
All right.
Because in 2000, I don't know if you remember the closing ceremony of the Olympic Games in Sydney, they had 2,000 ballroom dancers.
Right.
And that was not only showcasing our ballroom culture here, and I say this as a ballroom,
Yes.
a competitive ballroom dancer, a professional ballroom dancer myself. That was showcasing the culture. It was referencing Strictly Ballroom. It then led into Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and
Yes.
our movies and our icons of Australia.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was a very big conversation between the Olympic Committee and dance sport, because that's when they changed it from like ballroom to dance sport, and it was going to become a competitive Olympic sport.
Okay.
Here we are 25 years later, it still hasn't happened, but breakdancing is, and we've got Ray Gunn who's fucking doing the kangaroo out here, you know what I mean? But now, like, oh my God, you're so fun. I thought that was Olympic swimming, you know, what is it? Synchronized swimming.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. I wanted to do that growing up just because I wanted that peg on my nose.
my God, I
and
love
I
that.
thought by having it there
Did they have
so
one big
long,
enough?
maybe it would.
You missed that?
No, I didn't miss it.
Just glazed over it.
I thought the peg would actually help. Keep it like that. Hang on. Okay.
I had an auntie who used Michael Jackson nose. Oh my God, I love it. I love it, Nance. I can't do it. My nostrils are cooked. All right, well, look, you just keep sucking your nose in over there, and I reckon that is the perfect place to wrap up today. But if you're out there, mums, dads, coaches and teachers, tell us who's the teacher,
Yeah.
who's the coach.
Who are they? Maybe
guys.
zip it on the sidelines, hey?
I like it. We'll see you next week for another episode of Living. Follow along.
Am I living?
You know, we'll see you then. Bye.
What a funny thing to say.
Can you do the dance to the jingle? Do the dance.
But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day, on a cloudy